The Candle in the Storm. Chapter 1. The Dark Beginning. In a small, forgotten village surrounded by endless fields, there lived a boy named Arman. The houses were made of mud, the streets were filled with dust, and opportunities seemed like a distant dream. Arman's family was poor, so poor that some nights they slept hungry. Yet in his eyes there was a strange spark, a fire of hope that refused to die. While other children played, he would often sit quietly, looking at the horizon as if searching for something bigger than the life around him. Chapter 2. The Struggle of Daily Life. Arman's mornings started before the sun rose. He would carry water from the river, help his mother cook, and then work in the fields with his father. His hands became rough from the soil, and his back ached from heavy loads. But while his body worked, his mind kept dreaming. He wanted more than this endless cycle of poverty. He wanted to study, to learn, and to change his life. Chapter 3. A Tiny Candle. One evening, while searching through an old box, Arman found a small candle. It was given to him long ago by his father, who had since passed away. His father had once told him, "Whenever you feel lost in the darkness, light this candle and remember that light always exists, even in the darkest of nights." From that day on, Arman decided that no matter what, this candle would be his companion in the journey of life.
Chapter 4. The Laughter of Others. Arman began telling people he wanted to go to school. The villagers laughed at him. A farmer's son dreaming of education? Impossible, they said. Their words were sharp like knives, but instead of breaking him, they fueled his determination. At night, when everyone slept, Arman sat under the dim glow of the candle and tried to read torn pages he had collected from old books.
Chapter 5. First Step Towards Dreams. With the little money he saved, Arman finally managed to join the village school. He sat in the last row with old clothes and no shoes, but with burning eyes full of curiosity. His mother silently supported him, even when neighbors mocked her for allowing a poor boy to dream. Each night he studied until the candle melted away, whispering to himself, "I will not stop." Chapter 6. Failure and Tears. The day of the first exam arrived. Arman wrote with all his heart, but when the results came, he failed. The villagers laughed again. Some even told him to quit. That night, Arman cried. His tears fell on the little candle as he lit it again. Looking at its flickering flame, he promised, "I may fail today, but one day this flame will guide me to success." Chapter 7. A Mentor Appears. A retired teacher named Mr. Arman noticed Arman's efforts. He saw the boy sitting outside his hut with a candle and torn books. Touched by his dedication, Mr. Arman offered to teach him for free. Under his guidance, Arman began to understand subjects that once seemed impossible. Slowly, his confidence grew. Chapter 8. Small Success. Months later, Arman gave another exam. This time, he passed. The marks weren't high, but to him, it felt like climbing a mountain. For the first time, he tasted the sweetness of success. He smiled through tears and whispered to the candle, "We did it." Chapter 9. Bigger Dreams. Arman's hunger for knowledge grew stronger. He dreamed of studying in the city where real opportunities waited. The thought of leaving his village scared him, but his heart told him that he was meant for more. He told his mother, "I will return one day, but first I must fight for a better future."
Chapter 10. The Storm of Struggles. The city was harsher than he imagined. Rent was high, food was expensive, and loneliness followed him like a shadow. To survive, he worked at a tea stall during the day and washed dishes at night. Still, every evening he lit his candle and studied under its soft glow. People in the city ignored him, but the candle reminded him he was not alone.
Chapter 11. The Breaking Point. One night, after a long day of work, Arman sat exhausted. His stomach was empty, his hands trembled, and his mind whispered, "Give up." For a moment, he almost listened, but then he lit the candle again. As the small flame grew, so did his courage. He remembered his father's words, and he decided, "I will fight one more day."
Chapter 12. The Rise. Years passed. With endless struggle and determination, Arman finally completed his studies. He became a teacher, a man of respect and wisdom. The poor farmer's son who once studied under a candle now carried the light of knowledge in his heart.
Chapter 13. Return to the village. When Arman returned to his village, people were shocked. The boy they once mocked had become a man of honor. Children gathered around him. Villagers looked at him with respect, and his mother's eyes filled with proud tears. Chapter 14. Lighting More Candles. Arman did not forget his promise. He opened a small school for poor children, giving them free education. On the first day, he lit the same old candle and said, "One candle can light another. Together we can end this darkness." Chapter 15. The Legacy of Hope. Years later, the village was no longer the same. Children carried books instead of tools, and hope replaced despair. Arman's story became a legend told from one generation to another. And at the center of it all was a tiny candle that once fought against the storm.